Hi all, my name is Haley Comet and welcome to my cosmic corner of the internet where we discuss all things astrology, and today, North Node in the 8th house. How unlocking this placement can reveal your biggest strengths, your greatest challenges, your most soul-enriching path forward. Yes, North Node is a really significant portion in astrology, but also South Node. So not only will I be discussing the journey that you're going on with North Node in the 8th house, I'll be also discussing how your expertise with South Node in the 2nd house can help you moving forward. Before I dive into all the cosmic content, if you don't mind, if at any point in this video you learn something new, you smile, you giggle, you felt seen, you felt heard, if you could just do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe, turn the bell on, whatever you feel drawn to do. Any sort of engagement really helps me to keep these cosmic videos coming. And without further ado, let's get into the video. So let's talk about your South Node in the 2nd house. And if you're like, wait, I clicked on 8th house, I don't understand. If you have North Node in the 8th house, it automatically means you have South Node in the 2nd house. And I will be speaking in terms of past lives. If that sounds something that resonates with you, just sub in early in life, whatever works for you. But with 2nd house, it's where one could say that you have had past life experience there, or at least expertise or gifts in that area. So let's dive in with 2nd house. This is money that you earned, possessions, values, and it would indicate that you are someone where money and self-sufficiency monetarily might not be too big of a challenge for you, or at least it's something where you're pretty gifted with handling it, with making it. A lot of your mental energy could be exerted around it, and this could be something that you brought with you. You could have past lifetimes of someone who was very wealthy, someone who was very concerned with the possessions within your life. You could have a lot of your framework around life wrapped up into, do I have enough to eat? Do I have all the nice possessions? Do I have houses? And while you should absolutely appreciate your money-making ability, the way that you value yourself, the taste that you have in terms of items of quality, appreciate that, but also know that you've done that before. It's like deja vu all over again in the 2nd house. If you make this lifetime purely about how much money you have and the nice things that you have, soulfully you'll feel a bit bankrupt. And if you believe in past lives, it would be considered that you've had past lives of obsessively chasing money and obsessively chasing possessions. And it's not to say that necessarily you were some sort of heiress or someone who is obscenely wealthy, but you were someone where a lot of your life was about making money. And it could have been you were a breadwinner, or you always had to, work for money. And in this lifetime, you bring with you financial abilities, great taste, a hard work ethic. You've definitely come in with a really nice grip and value of yourself that you bring with you into any job and into an experience. But it's not where you're meant to stay. South Node is your comfort zone. If you stay there, you never grow, you're never uncomfortable, and your soul was asking with North Node in the 8th house there, you could say that you picked it, to explore 8th house matters. And 8th house is a house that is often misunderstood. So 8th house governs other people's resources, where their 2nd house is money that you earn. I earn this, I clock in, I clock out, this is my money. 8th house is merged assets, merged money. It also governs death, and by extension governs, rebirth, what stays here after we die, our legacy, because a huge piece of this nodal axis is you can't take it with you. If you make this lifetime purely about the nice house, the nice stuff, the nice clothes, all the things, you can't bring it with you into the grave. It's about finding a value for your life that means so much that even on your deathbed, you will be grateful that you were connected to that, or it even could be a legacy that continues after your death, working for something that's bigger than just possessions, things that you can taste and touch and see and smell. 8th house is about what is intangible about life, your spirit, your soul, what continues on after you die, like your work that continues on in this lifetime. So rather than just allowing, what you have to do for money to be, to buy all these nice things, what can I contribute my time into that really means the most to me? They say if you figure out what you would die for, you figure out what to live for. And I feel like that's huge with North Node and 8th house. It's like, what means the most to me? What do I want my legacy to be? And how can I dive into that? So while you'll bring with you this ability of finances, you might be someone who's good with money, attracts money to you. As I mentioned, great taste. It's not where you should stay. So in like, anytime that you feed, the materialism or the money hungriness, you're doing your soul a huge disservice. Your soul wants to explore 8th house matters, which is merging with other people. So rather than being so concerned of like, this is my money and being rather greedy about it, it's about, okay, but what can we create if we merge money together? You might be someone who doesn't want to go into business with someone because you have such a good work ethic and you're so used to working hard that you don't want to surrender that and potentially lose out if you merge with someone else. But a huge note of North Node and 8th house is that sometimes when we merge our resources together, it can create something more powerful than what we could do on our own. And there's a soul opportunity for you to learn how to share and how to relinquish control. With South Node in the 2nd house, you can absolutely have control issues. On one side, you have great boundaries, but you could be someone where you don't trust people. You don't trust things. You like things that are tangible and secure. And I make money, I drive my Rolls Royce, and that's that. Whereas North Node in the 8th house is investments and merging money with a business partner, merging money with a spouse. Another huge lesson here can be learning to receive support from others. So if you're someone with the South Node in the 2nd house where it's like you're used to having to take care of everyone else and make everyone else's money, it might be really challenging to marry someone who, makes way more money than you, and to learn how to receive that support rather than feeling like you have to be the primary breadwinner. What is it like to receive support from someone else? For your life not to be caught up in just money and survival and buying the things. What if your life was about something different? And what if in this lifetime, the universe is sending you people who can offer you support? Really welcome in money that comes to you from others. And that's really the difference with 2nd house and 8th house, because they both are money houses. So not to say that this isn't a money lifetime for you. I hope I didn't paint it that way. It's a money purely made by you and for you lifetime. That's not what this lifetime's about. While you have that expertise and that ability, this lifetime is about what that money can do and how money coming to you from other people can support you and free up your time to dive into matters that are closer to heart. So 2nd house is money that you earn. 8th house is money that comes to you from others. Investments, shared, spousal income, any sort of like lawsuit, alimony, child support, anything that can support you. Be open to it, because this lifetime isn't just about you having to work. And it also kind of takes this reshaping of your understanding of money, because you could be someone with South Node in the 2nd house is very logical, very rational around, I work this much, I get this paycheck, this is what I do. Whereas 8th house is like investments. Like if you put this money away, and yeah, it's a gamble, it's risky, but you could pay out way more, as well as leaning into things such as passive income or like building a business and then selling it, like things where money isn't as finite, and learning kind of the energy of money so you don't have to work so hard for a living and have your entire life be around gotta earn more, gotta earn more, gotta earn more. What if you could take a different approach when it came to money? And that lifetime is about exploring it. And this is the house of merging. And in traditional astrology, it would not be considered sex. In modern astrology, it is. That's up to you to kind of explore for yourself and what feels good. With North Node going into the 8th house, I always think of it as just kind of like how we merge, how we sacrifice who we are and open up to something bigger. So with South Node, 2nd house, you feel more comfy when it's like, it's a sure bet. But with North Node in the 8th house, it's like leaning into things that aren't as sure, things that are intangible, trusting your intuition a little bit more, opening up your trust to other people, whether it's business partners or your spouse, getting married, combining assets. It's about learning trust and learning surrender, not having to like work so hard and be so self-sufficient, but realizing that the universe is going to send you people who are here to support you, as well as you transform your relationship to money and how it works and how it operates. Also, it's about learning about also diving into any sort of calling that you want to dive deeply into. Like 8th house kind of governs occult and secrets. So there might be, these things, these questions of life that you always are contemplating. And perhaps this placement is about exploring those rather than life just being about the tangibles. You've got the intangibles. You know how to make money. You have good taste in stuff. You have this sense of like wanting to feel safe, and admire that and make sure that you do feel safe, whether it's having a safe place, you know, to lie your head at night, because that is something that is important to your soul. But this lifetime isn't about using up all your resources on making a ton of money to get the best mansion. It's about having a safe roof over your head, sure, but allowing your life not to be around funding that house so you have free time to dive into, you know, business partnerships or into spousal relationships, intimacy, the questions of life, the deeper meanings of things. You could be really into, you know, sex or occult matters, things of the nature, things where it's not as cut and dry, things where we relinquish control of ourselves and open ourselves up to something bigger, something risky, sure, but something bigger than ourselves, where we merge, this is who I am, this is who you are, and merge into something bigger, leaning into, you know, the questions, the uncertainties of life. With North Node in the 8th house, it's about healing your relationship with death. I know that sounds intense, but with South Node in the 2nd house, there can be this predisposition to want to have control over life by, well, if I just make enough money, then I'll be happy, and then I'll have control over life, and then nothing bad can happen. And North Node in the 8th house is about, yeah, learning and growing through crisis situations, knowing that they are not avoidable, knowing that death is not avoidable, and healing our relationship with that, making it not this scary thing, but realizing the natural ebb and flow of things, and realizing, you know, that beautiful desk that you spend $5,000 on, like 10 years later, no one wants it. Like, it's very quick, it's very fleeting. With North Node in the 8th house, it's about understanding these cycles, these transitions, developing a relationship, a bigger concept of life where it allows you to have peace with death. And it even could be diving into perhaps, I mean, 8th house isn't ancestry necessarily, but with it being the house of death, it could even be healing, you know, grief, healing your relationship with death if you've lost someone close to you. And, you know, the messages that have come to you through that exploration of death and transitions, and finding this sense of peace and just the cycles of it all. So it's definitely an intense lifetime you signed up for. You definitely brought in with it a lot of natural money-making ability and natural, like, leadership and work ethic for sure. But this lifetime is about diving from the tangible to the intangibles of life, the secrets of life, the mysteries of life. Friends, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you could do me a favor, if at any point you gained any insight, I would love if you could drop a comment below what you think of your placement. My Instagram handle is @HaleyCometAstrology. It is on the screen. I do a IGTV every Monday morning called Magic Monday, outlining what the cosmic energies of the week are and how you can synchronize with them. And until we meet again, drink lots of water and stay cosmic.